Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the Journey to the Past event, in which the Ancient Golem is added to Gems of War. So let's get into that. His Arcane Trait Stone, yellow-purple, this would be used mainly for himself, surprisingly. He actually has good traits, as well as Herdmaster and an Inferno King for later on in the game. So the troop itself, quite unique. It's a 12 mana cost yellow-purple. It explodes a gem of choice, dispels a random enemy, and then deals true damage to that same enemy, boosted by blue gems destroyed at a really high boost ratio of 4 times. One interesting thing about this combination is if they have barrier, it will dispel the barrier, meaning they can't barrier against it, and then does the true damage. So this is seriously true damage, since not even barrier can stop it. So this is basically guaranteed true damage to whatever it ends up hitting, though you have no choice of what it hits. It is completely random, but it is one of the highest single target burst true damages currently in the game right now, so that is quite decent, particularly for earlier on in the game. For earlier on in the game, this is the highest you can possibly have, aside from things like mythics. So yeah, really nice option. As far as traits, very decent as well. He has a unique Rocky Death. This creates a Brown Storm whenever he ends up getting a kill, or anything on your team ends up getting a kill. It can be useful for, of course, accumulating brown mana. Also really good with things like a Gorgolfa, which is already going to be creating a bunch, or going to be getting a bunch of brown that goes back into it from the explosion for extra turn chances, and basically just for accumulating that extra brown that you need. It will make every exploder you do have a much higher chance of gaining an extra turn. And it has impervious, which is also very useful, and pretty much every team I've been using it in, I've been using it in last slot, because as all of you know, Krakens are running rampant right now, given that the event kind of just happened for it recently. So having this nice impervious for it will help to make the Devourers not as effective. So, keys this week, it is of course a Drifting Sands week. I personally would not really advise using event keys, as we are getting a new kingdom this Friday, and that means next week's event is going to be the event week for the new kingdom, so you'd most likely want to allocate all of your event keys for next week. But if you did want to use them this week, one noteworthy drop that is in here is the Great Maul, which takes 24 mana cost, can only cast once, but on that cast that has a 100% chance of devouring, assuming they don't have a barrier on them. Wouldn't really bother though. Pretty much a good week to go and save all of your event keys and not spend any of them as you go and stockpile them for next week. As far as the Soul Forge, there is one noteworthy thing. There's no mythics, unfortunately, no Fair Shroud, no Famine, nothing particularly good in that regard, but Dragon Soul. Any newer player, or even mid-game player, if you don't already have yourself a Dragon Soul, go and power level now. I'm probably going to do that on my other account too. Power level up to level 9 on Soul Forge and get yourself a Dragon Soul. It is very powerful, particularly the earlier you can get it in the game. It explodes a bunch of gems. It's based on this magic, deals damage to all enemies, and it at minimum does 11 to all enemies, 20 if you have a full team of dragons, and on top of that it has a static gain of 15 souls per cast. So you just cast that 3 times and you just got yourself max souls for the battle. Really good for basically everything. So yeah, get yourself one. It's very nice to have, and the sooner you get it, the easier it'll be to kind of farm up souls and just clear through some pretty easy teams early on. Anyways, let's go over the stats. We get our 10% from Drifting Sands, we get our 10% from all constructs. Not really much that can be used with, other than the new guy for the most part. We also get 500 gold whenever we use them in PvP, and I'll be showing some teams for that. And we have a very annoying event week for the event gems, probably the most annoying we've had for a while. It is to kill a bunch of constructs in PvP or Explorer. The problem with this is there's about 20 constructs, but 6 of them are Guild War ones, which never appear in any form of combat other than in PvP. As far as kingdoms, every single kingdom has a total of 1, except for one, which is Broken Spire, which has a total of 2. So if you were to do it in Explorer, you'd basically go to Broken Spire and just hope you get lucky to find one of the 2 constructs that exist in Kingdom. Otherwise, the alternative method would be hope that people set it as their defense. Currently, no one has really done that since the reset has just recently occurred. But maybe on the casual battles, you might be, oh, there's one. We just saw a Justice, that would have been one. Maybe we can get lucky enough on one of these to find some. But yeah, it's going to be a really hard week to find constructs, that is for sure, unless a lot of people start setting it as their defend. So let's get into some battles then. We're already here. Do we do that one first? Let me go with the... Actually, this one I think has been my favorite so far. So let's go show this one first. Emperor Corvash, double Marilith, and Ancient Golem. I wish there was a way that we could put a better brown onto this team. Well, not really a better one. Corvash is about as good as we can really ask for. It's just, I don't really care for his positioning. But other than that, really, really nice. We'll just go and rush up the Mariliths as soon as humanly possible. Get these all the way up. Ideally, we'd want to take another green or a red just to get that first Marilith all the way to full, but we'll just go for our cast right there. Ideally, we want to get a double cast. Just do one right after the other with the Mariliths. We have our banner set, so we have a total of +6 gain on our red right now to make it very easy to be able to get all the mana that we need. So we'll go get that up, get that extra turn, double Marilith. Can we actually throw anything with this stone? We always want to be lucking with this troop to try to find extra turns just laying around. We of course also generally want to do it for anywheres where we'll be able to boost off of it pretty heavily. Like right here, we can hit 4 blues, and as you can see, we just one-shotted a Kraken pretty easily there. He also has immune to Devour, so even if it does get a Devour proc, it will not be able to do anything out of that. And now we can just loop between the Mariliths. I would consider this game, or this troop, this team, I would consider this team more of a mid-range kind of team. Something that you would use as a mid-level player. But personally, even as this late in the game, I've been finding it to be somewhat decent. Right here, ideally we hit him somehow. We don't actually have a way of doing that though. So let's see, do we have any good drops? Doesn't even look like we have that. We could maybe try for a Sky Purple out of luck. Nope, we didn't get it. Okay, he takes the skull though for whatever reason. But we'll go take that. One more Marilith, we'll wrap that up if we can get that off. And one Kraken won't really do much to us, so we can just Corvash into the final little blow. Or we could extra turn with this guy and then do the Corvash, and that would be match. There does not appear to be an extra turn though, unless I'm missing one. Nope, doesn't look like one to me. So we'll just throw the Corvash and then we'll throw the stone. It doesn't matter where we throw it at this point, just throw it on anything, and down it goes for that 1 damage that we need. But yeah, it works out pretty nice. The Marilith just lowers them down, and the other two, the Corvash disables and sometimes gets kills, and of course the Golem is the main thing that's doing the killing with his particularly high random true damage. And look at this, the diversity, round 2. Okay, do we go, but I'll go show the other one later. For last. So let's go to this one. It's a Mercy Alchemist Guard's Avatar Ancient Golem. You can replace out Guard's Avatar for any troop that is yellow that hits full AoE. Doesn't matter what, just needs to be yellow full AoE. Guard's Avatar just happens to be the best option, so I figured I'd show it with him since we are in late game battles here. So, Mercy, not doing much for us right now. It's similar to the Alchemist's Hellcat kind of loop version of this team, except we try utilizing the Storm that we end up getting off of the Golem for the additional browns. So he'll move that down. Mercy, you are not coming through for us this time around. That is not what we need to be happening right now. So we do get a nice cast here, so this will get us going finally. And there we go, finally, Mercy, good job. Get that nice alignment, get a lot of cascade from that. We have our little jewel, we have our damage, and now we can just start throwing everything down. Not the alignment we really need for extra turning though, but yeah, we'll throw this down for now. It's a nice little poke. Oh, we have the Brown Storm, of course, now, so going to be easier to try to get extra turn off of those kind of things. Nothing we can actually directly go for as this current moment, but we'll just cascade all that. Get a nice convert in there. We don't have a Mercy up right now, so not going to even concern ourselves with it. Throw that down, and anything we do at this point, we'll take it out. Come on, Joel. And anything we do at this point, we'll just take it out, and down it goes. I do like that little bit of war control he has. I believe a lot of these newer golems that they're adding, actually, if I'm not mistaken, almost every golem that they've added recently has a single target explode with a decent boost ratio. Because I noticed some of the other golems actually are pretty decent and kind of like the same structure. I guess they're eventually going to make a golem of kind of like how they done with the converters and with the trolls. They might make like 6 different versions of golem. If we go and actually check right now, I think there's 4 or 5. Yeah, let's just go check golem. Golem. Yeah, there are 5 golems right now, 4 of which are under the same concept. The Ancient Golem with a single explosion, Golem with a single explosion, Ice Golem with a single explosion, and Obsidian Golem with a single explosion. As you see, a 4 times boost ratio, 4 times boost ratio, and a 1-to-1 on every single freeze. Actually, do you have 4 times too? You need to become 4 times. No, but yeah, they either have a 1-to-1 or a 4-to-4. Flesh Golem doesn't really seem to be under the structure of all the other golems. He just seems to be a thing. Maybe they might change his name eventually, but yeah, those are the 5 golems. I feel like when they make more golems in the future, they're going to be they're going to be under the same kind of like strategy that Obsidian Golem and Ancient Golem are under, I would assume. Anyways, let's go into the final battle here against a slightly different team. Who could have guessed? But it is a budget yellow team for Guild War days. Though it is a Kraken counter version. Let me go move it into a non-Kraken counter version. There we go. You know what? Maybe I should go show... we won't show it against the Kraken. We'll just do it against this. It can win against Krakens. We did end up getting a win with it earlier. But let's go throw it against this. This might be somewhat common at lower level ranges. And this is something that we use as a budget yellow team, obviously. It doesn't use anything higher than an epic, which is Sir Gawain. And if you don't have Sir Gawain, you could get away with, I guess, using a Valkyrie and then shifting the 2 of them. That or an Goblin Rocket would probably also work. So Mercy, we got to watch out for that. Make sure there's no alignment. So I definitely have to take this move then, just to make sure he doesn't get anything off of that. And now his Mercy completely misses and just gives us all of our mana. So that works out quite well. We can create blues and browns off of that if we want to. We have the Astral Spirit. I think I'm actually going to go for it due to the sheer damage that we can get. Start true damage poking that down. Double check to see if we have any drops on the board. And I feel like we should. Yes, we do. We have a really weird drop right now. So we can go for that, drop that, and then we get the extra turn. Oh! No! That brown that dropped there ruined our extra turn. That would have been an extra turn if that one brown didn't drop and ruined it. Never mind. Okay. Well, plan B. We already got everything back up already, so it's not even going to matter. If that happens, another little poke. At this point, I might as well just poke him to death. He's going to die that way. Actually, Astral Spirit. What's your boost ratio? 3-to-1? Never mind, you don't have a 2-to-1 anymore. I guess we just boost this and hope that we get a nice single target. I'm not going to worry about that skull. It's just going to skull distract him. We'll get our nice damage there that ends up killing out the Corvash pretty easily. Got ourselves another little gem to go throw down. I just make sure I take everything off the board before I do. We could try for extra turn here. I think I'll go for it. We get a triple plus an extra turn chance off the top, so we'll go for that. And nope, didn't end up getting the drop there. All we needed was 1 brown, but didn't get it. So we still have the brown storm. Actually surprised that we didn't get a brown since it is a brown storm. Let's go replenish the board. That ends up giving us a bunch of browns and blues on the board. It also summons 1 to 3 Swords Edge troops, and as you can see, we got a Shadow Dragon with that cast. And Astral Spirit. Where do we throw you? I also want to throw this on brown. Now that we lost the front line. Yeah, we'll do it for boost ratio. Get that nice little poke in. Okay, so yellow to blue. We'll get that up. Get another Astral Spirit. And take the brown real quick. Feels weird not having any brown to use now. Okay. Let's see. That's the only slight problem with this troop. Is a lot of the browns that you want to use with this guy end up needing to be in first slot. With Guard's Avatar, we didn't need to have it in first slots. Like things like Corvash and Cockatrice and stuff like that, those kind of troops generally like to be used in first slot. And you kind of need at least 1 brown on your team to be able to still utilize this storm. And it sometimes runs into a bit of a conflict with that, which is slightly an issue sometimes. But let's just go throw that down. Since we don't actually use brown, yet we're creating so many brown, just got to keep removing it. Kind of funny that we got a Shadow Dragon, since that synergizes perfectly with the fact that he also does true damage. That was a complete luck, though. If I'm not mistaken, that's basically the only thing in the entire Kingdom of Swords Edge that happens to do true damage, other than the wolf if you have him traded. But yeah, it's kind of funny that we would summon the one, or I should say the one of 2 things in that kingdom that can do true damage, so that worked out. But at this point, all we have to do is just poke him down with a few more taps. This, of course, is made for Guild Wars, and as a budget team for Guild Wars, I wouldn't really advise using it as a regular basis kind of thing. Like, don't bother running this for PvP or anything. But yeah, this could definitely sustain itself in a Guild War situation, particularly for lower level ranges. Well, let's go... Well, we don't have anything we could throw with this. I guess we just go for... You know what? Yeah, we'll go for Skull. Do we have any drops? I think we do. I think that's an extra turn. Yes? Okay, that was correct. Now we can just true damage it with anything. And down it goes. Yep, that is the new Golem. Is it worth using? Yes. It has impervious. It has a storm on death. It has a very nice true damage ability. Actually, a really, really high. I'm kind of surprised how high of a damage it is. And hey, an all construct team. Well, I guess we can go show a construct wipe real quick. And of course, as I mentioned, we do get 500 additional gold for using a golem in your team. So it is a good idea to try to incorporate a golem into your PvP team this week, because every battle that you win with it in PvP will yield a additional 500 gold. So personally, this has been my favorite so far. As far as what I have tested with him so far, we will be doing more later, of course, to try to figure out what to do with this little guy. But yeah, I always loved the double Marilift team. Hasn't really gotten in too much usage as of at least recently, particularly later in the game, mainly because there haven't been as many purposes for it. But I feel like it ends up synergizing perfectly into a team like this. Not to mention we have that nice Corvash, we have the Kraken counter, we have quite a bit to handle the meta, because we can handle Wisps with this, we can handle well, actually the only thing we can't really handle is the back two slots. We would need like a Baba Yaga or something for that. But other than that, covers most of the more annoying teams, I would say, right about now. Can't really hit too far in the back, so things like that all the way back there, nothing we can really do about that until we really start getting the team rolling a bit. We can only really hit consistently the front of the team. Things that are strong in the back, we can't really do anything about, unfortunately. But we can still do nice little drop tricks like that. Get ourselves a little bit extra from there. Get our mana, double Marilift, Corvash, stuff like that. Yeah, we'll go through the next Corvash. Not much I can do about his gem. Of course, it would hit the one I need him not to hit. Come on now. I'm hitting the guy that has no HP. There we go. Very nice. That gives us another Corvash. I believe I'm going to throw it immediately just so we can get rid of it. Will then secure us pretty much a kill, since there's a very solid chance that at this point we would be able to land that. And we do indeed land one, though it was on, I believe, the highest HP on his team, so a little bit unfortunate that we did that one. And now we can just Corvash into another one of those little true damage diamonds. And that is true damage, because even Barrier won't stop it due to the dispel on it. That's not really something I emphasize much, but he does indeed have a dispel on his ability. This is mainly relevant for Barrier to basically get rid of Barrier, so do keep that in mind. This can also, if it happens to like a Christine X or something, will remove its enchant. If it has Enrage, it will remove its Enrage, and if it has Submerge, it will remove its Submerge. And once Merlantis comes in this Friday, that would probably be a little bit more relevant, that it can remove something like that, because for example, Marilift would not be able to hit a submerged enemy, but Ancient Golem could bring them out of Submerge, allowing Marilift to then hit that submerged enemy. Anyways, guys, that will wrap it up for this video. If you still have any other questions about the event or anything else in Gems of War, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.